Good evening, everyone. Dr. Meenal Bhujangra Bhagmar is here. In the series of disease of field and horticulture crops and their management, now we are seeing the pulses crop. We are going to move over to the last pulses crop, that is linseed. So, our first disease of the linseed is a Alternaria bud blight of the linseed. Causal organism is a Alternaria lineae. So, in this dark color brown spot or black color of spots are appear on the leaves and stem and the pods. We can see such a dark color brown or blackish spots are appear. Around this spot, some concentric rings are formed with yellow hollows. Around this spot it will appear, and now that spot are appear as in a target spots. Generally, target spots are mostly appear in such a Alternaria diseases and different crops too. So, dark and circular and irregular spots are often occur on the leaves with the yellow halo and concentric rings that appear as a target spot. This lead to the yellowing of the leaves, and due to the yellowing of the leaves, premature leaf drop and drying of the leaf takes place. Ultimately, it gives the blighty appearance to the crop, and especially in the wet condition, significant yield losses are occur. In this also, a linseed pod get deformed in shape, and size of the linseed seeds are also reduced, and quality of the seed are also reduced due to this disease. Coming to the disease cycle, primary infection, in this we can see clematospores are formed as resting spores which get germinated under the favorable condition and lead to the disease cycle. But secondary infection are spread due to the conidia, that is microconidia spores are formed in this disease cycle and lead to the secondary infection due to wind and rain. And like this, it severely infected the pods and reduce the quality of the seed of the pods. Coming to the management, deep summer plowing is suggested as a cultural practice. Carboxyn and thyram and trichoderma are among this. 2.5 gram per kg of seed has been used as a seed treatment. Crop rotation is suggested with the non-host crop like maize to break the continuous availability of the host crop to the pathogen, which lead to the breakdown of the disease cycle of the pathogen. Destroy the infected plant debris having the old clematospores and conidia, which reduce the inoculum, and this field sanitation helps to control the disease. Tillage, that is physical manipulation of soil, also help to decompose, which help to bury the residues and to speed up the decomposition. Spraying of the foliar application of the mancozeb or zenip is suggested at 0.25%, that is 2.5 gram per liter. First spray is suggested at the initial symptoms are appear, and second spray is suggested after the 15 days of the first dose, or if needed. Coming to the next disease of the linseed, that is linseed rust. Causal organism is a Melamspora lineae. We can find that pustules are appearing on the leaves, that yellowish orange color pustules are appear on the leaves. With the this area get ultimately become a chlorotic due to loss of chlorophyll, and necrotic tissues are formed in this leaf surface. And ultimately, drying of leaf takes place and defoliation of leaves also takes place. Such kind of pustules are also formed on the pods, which ultimately deform the size of pod and reduce the seed size and quality of the seed. This is an Melamspora lineae is an autoschleierus because it completes this all 5 spore stages on the same host, that is linseed, not depending on the any alternate or collateral host. And this uh, spore stages are showing the macrocyclic rust because all 5 spore stages are present, that is pycnospore, ichthyospore, and iridospore and teleospores and basilospore. These spore stages are 5 spore stages are present, that's why it is a macrocyclic rust. We can see in the life cycle that spermagonium, that it be nothing but the pycnospora form in the pycnidia, and then it lead to the ichthyospora form from Asia, and ultimately it gives to the iridospore. We can see this epidemic cycle is repeating here, that is iridospore is a repetitive spore without depending on any other spore stages. It can also lead to the another infection, secondary infection. That means it is not depending on any other spore stages, but alone can lead the secondary infection. That's why it is a repetitive spore. And after this iridospore lead to the teleospore are formed. This is a resting or overwinter spore which can be survive in a soil debris and infected plant part for years. And when favorable condition is coming, it can germinate and lead to the disease cycle. Otherwise, in another stage, stereospore converted to the basidiospores, which is a sexual spore of the rust life cycle. And like this, basidiospore again lead to the infection, and that infection again lead to the pycnospore. Like this, life cycle is continue on the linseed crop. Coming to their management, mixed cropping and crop rotation is suggested to break down the continuous availability of the same host to the pathogen to stop its disease cycle. Avoid the excess nitrogen. It means excess vegetative growth is attracting the pathogen most for this disease. To stop that, we should manage the excess dose of the nitrogen. Trichoderma harzianum 10 gram per kg suggested as an biological seed treatment for this rust. Propiconazole, tebuconazole, and one more is there, that is hexaconazole at 0.1%, that is 1 gram per liter is suggested as an foliar application. First spray we will do at the 15 first at the pustule appearance, initial appearance of pustules are occur. Second spray after the 15 to 20 days if required after the first spraying. And mancozeb also is provided as a foliar application at early stages 0.25%, that is 2.5 gram per liter. Coming to the another important disease of the linseed, and it's one of the last disease of the linseed crop, that is powdery mildew of the linseed. Causal organism is the Odium linea. In this, whitish fungal mycelium growth are occur on the leaves and pods. Along with the black color lesions also appear on the leaves and spot. In this, we can see powdery patches are appear on the leaves, stem and flower and capsules, which ultimately shows that small grayish whitish powdery spots on the aerial parts, that is again leaves, stem, flowers and capsule. Due to this, that leaf part shows the yellowing and dropping and premature defoliation of the leaves takes place, which ultimately impact the yield losses, that is by reducing the yield and seed quality. Shriveling of the seeds and smaller seed size and reduce the capsule number and lead to the significant yield loss. It can, in severe case, this disease can cause the 60% of yield loss. Coming to the life cycle, basically in these two life cycles are occur, that is sexual life cycle and asexual life cycle. Asexual life cycle continue by the conidiospore under the unfavorable condition. In sexual life cycle are continued by the ascospores, that female hypa and male hypa get fused together and lead to the formation of the fruiting structure, that is cleistothecium, which is rounded and globous and rounded in shape and compact. This cleistothecium, when mature and break down, it leads to the release of the ascospores. And this ascospore after germinating lead to the primary infection, and secondary infection continue by the conidia, which get transferred with the help of wind and rain and present inside the infected debris. Coming to the management, mainly in powdery mildew, vegetable sulfur at 2 spray of 0.4, that is 4 gram per liter at 45 to 60 days of sowing are provided. And hexaconazole and propiconazole also shows the effective foliar application spray, that is 0.1%. It is also provided as a propiconazole spray is provided at the 0.1% spray is effective, and hexaconazole, that is spray at 1 ml per liter at 45 to 60 days after the day after the sowing are provided. We can also use some primary defensive resistant varieties of linseed. Crop rotation is essential to break the disease cycle as the fungus overwinter in the plant debris, and remove the infected plant debris to reduce the primary inoculum. If once primary inoculum is reduces, it definitely secondary infection rate also reduces. To avoid the late sowing, as the disease is severe in the late sown crop. So these are the management of the powdery mildew of the linseed. And like this, we have covered all the pulses crop, that is gram, pea, lentil and linseed. If you like this video, like my channel, subscribe my channel and share this video. Thank you.